it's Kim, aka Geekerella, and if you are new to this channel, hello! I make geeky videos on this channel, mostly comic book items, and today we are going to be talking about the Justice League film, which I just saw last night, and we have to talk about the film. This has been a long-awaited thing for such a freaking long time. Woo! So as we all know, the DCEU has been a difficult time lately. We've had very dark films, very unsatisfying films that were just... So people kind of gave up a little bit after Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman kind of brought people back into the fold. But then it's all up to Justice League to keep people here, to say, hey, guys, we got it, we're going in the right direction. So please just stay on this train because eventually we'll get there. I am just going to tell the truth about what I thought about this film because I have to. I have to tell the truth about Justice League. So what was the final verdict? I fucking loved it. That is right, I freaking loved this film, and this is no joke. I genuinely loved this film. I had so much fun watching it. I was laughing at the comedy, I was loving all the characters. The structure of the film actually made sense. I felt like I was watching a superhero film. And the vibe afterwards, I felt uplifted, I felt hope, I was happy, I was excited. That is what you need to feel after a Justice League film. So I have to say, I'm so happy with Justice. I'm actually very, very happy with this film. And I can honestly say, it's hard to pit it against Wonder Woman. It is, because Wonder Woman is such a different film to this. It's hard to say, but coming down to it, if I was locked in a room forever and I could only watch one film, Wonder Woman or Justice League, it would have to be Justice League. So obviously there have been some very dark circumstances and consequences of Zack Snyder creating this film. While he was directing, his daughter actually committed suicide and he had to step away from the whole thing, and that caused Joss Whedon to be called in, and he kind of came in and did some very expensive reshoots and edits and all different things. And I can honestly say that I can feel the Joss Whedon vibe in this film, but I can also see the Zack Snyder vibe. So what I think is actually really fantastic about this is that Zack Snyder is the king of visuals. He's the king of cinematography. He's so good at making a visual film. And of course you can see this in Justice League. But Joss Whedon is fantastic at dialogue. He's fantastic at story and structure and everything perfectly, you know, in alignment. And you can see that in this film. The combination of a great story with a perfect structure, amazing visuals, you know, some very fun jokes that aren't completely out of place. It's great. So I had absolutely no problem at all with two people directing this film. I know a lot of people probably had expectations that it would kind of be ripped in the middle because there was like the Joss Whedon part and then the Zack Snyder parts, but I feel like it flowed fantastically, and I think they did a really good job of covering up any discrepancies between the two directors' visions. The characters, oh my god. So this was quite a short film, like it was under 2 hours. That's actually surprising, seeing as, you know, the films that the DCEU have produced so far have been so long. But they actually did a really good job in developing all of the characters in a small amount of time. Like they told you a little bit, but not too much, because we are of course waiting for most of these characters to have their own solo films in which we'll learn a lot more about them in this DCEU, because we can't just depend on what their backstories are in the comics, because it may not be exactly the same. So I feel like all the characters were played to perfection by the actors. Ezra Miller as the Flash, like I never really thought anyone would be better than Grant Gustin, because we've just seen him as the Flash on the CW, but Ezra Miller, he just brings a whole new layer and element and atmosphere to Barry that is just really fun to watch on the big screen. So I am so thankful that they chose him for this role, because he does a spectacular job. So before we delve any further into this review, it's time for spoilers. That is right, we're going to be spoiling things from now on end. So if you have not seen this film yet and don't wish to be spoiled, bye-bye. What I'm going to do is talk about my top 5 things that happen in this film. Number 1, Superman's reincarnation. And the fight between Superman and the Justice League, I just oh my god, I couldn't even control myself during that whole scene and just everything that was happening. I was literally laughing my ass off, but I was like proud of Supes, but also laughing my ass off. So what happens in this film, and as I said, this is spoilers, so if you're still watching this, what are you doing here? Go away if you don't want to be spoiled. But Superman is reincarnated by the Mother Box. They decide that they're going to use this to bring Superman back to life. And they do, but he turns out a little weird, a little kooky, and he doesn't kind of know what's happening. And at the time, Cyborg kind of loses control of all of the gadgets that appear within him, and he takes a shot at Superman, and he's just like, nah bro. And he just starts fighting every single Justice League member, just, you know, slamming them down. And this is why Superman is just so freaking cool. He's just so badass. He's such a nice character, but when you take away that mask, he is literally a god amongst men. He can do so much. He can put down anyone. It's actually quite terrifying. But the best part of that scene was when Barry was running. Oh my god, and Superman turns his head. Probably the funniest thing of the whole film, and it was just so fitting. It was so fitting. I have no words. That was the best scene for me. Number 2, I'd have to say literally all of the Flash scenes. As I said before, Ezra Miller was fantastic in this film, and what I think was really great about this is, yes, the Justice League had a lighter kind of atmosphere to it, and I feel like it was all brought down to the Flash, Barry Allen's character. So we all kind of know that Barry is the comic relief of the Justice League, of DC Comics. He just has that type of personality, and that's the character he is in the comics. And I think the difference, and I don't really like to compare DC to Marvel really, but I feel like the difference in the Justice League is that Barry is the comic relief, so everything he says, all the jokes he makes, is very suited, and he brings that comic relief to the film. Whereas where you have Marvel, a lot of their films tend to be, especially when all of the characters are pushed together, such as the Avengers, they all seem to try one-up each other in terms of being the Joker of the group. They all try to take turns, and it kind of gets a little bit overwhelming with all the random jokes that are thrown in. And I feel like with the Justice League, I was expecting it to be kind of cringy, but I don't think I cringed it. Like, I don't think I cringed once in this film, and that's surprising. If Superman wasn't in this film, Ezra Miller's Flash would be my favorite character in the DCEU, because he is spectacular. So much fun. Yeah, he just feels like a normal person, which is kind of cool. Third thing I absolutely loved about this film is the inclusion of the Danny Elfman Batman theme. Oh my god. This has been my favorite superhero theme of all time. It's not the Superman theme, it is the Danny Elfman, Tim Burton Batman theme. And when it first started playing, I was like, oh my god, oh my god. I was so excited. I was so happy that they included this in the film. It was amazing. So I think the first time it kind of appeared was when they all met Commissioner Gordon on top of the rooftop, and the Batman signal was showing up, and they had like the whole inclusion of the theme at that section. They did play it, I think, a little bit later as well that I noticed, but I felt like that was a really fantastic homage, and I really hope if they do end up, you know, going through with doing any Batman solo films, that they include this theme, because it's so freaking epic. So I was very happy with that inclusion. My fourth favorite thing in this film, and I feel like it's cheating a little bit, but it is another Superman section. So at the end, when everyone is fighting Steppenwolf, and they're all obviously having a lot of trouble fighting him, and Superman just comes in and just owns like him and everybody, and I'm just like, this guy is just great. He literally comes in and is like, what are you guys doing? Just punch him, you know, punch him through a planet. This film made me so proud of Superman. I mean, I was already proud, but I was like extra proud because Man of Steel and Batman v Superman just didn't really do it for me in terms of Superman's portrayal. This film really kind of threw Superman out there and was like, this is Superman. He's great. Everyone love him because he's just there's this fun side to him that we get to see in this film, and I loved that. I have missed the fun Superman, the fun Clark Kent. Where has he been? Hello, you are back. And the fifth top thing I wanted to talk about, the final thing, was Aquaman. Aquaman freaking surfing that parademon. I mean, yes, I know we already saw this scene in the trailers, but the context leading up to it, and he's just like flying through the freaking sky with his trident and then surfing the Batmobile and just being an epic person. Jason Momoa really freaking brings everything to Aquaman. For me, he's honestly not been a character that I have really got behind or really liked that much, but Momoa just brings something to the character that you're just like, this guy's freaking awesome. Like, how could anyone dislike him? Absolutely amazing. So I'm so excited to see the solo Aquaman film. And the fact that James Wan is directing it is just an added bonus. It's just gonna be, I'm just gonna be so excited to see how they bring the world of Atlantis into the DCEU, how it fits, and we learn more about just how it fits in the whole timeline and everything. So excited. Aquaman is freaking badass. So that is all I'm gonna talk about for Justice League, because as I said, I could go on forever and talk about this, but I honestly want to know what you guys thought of the film. If you have seen it, please let me know in the comments below, and let's be honest, let's be completely honest and talk about our true feelings on how we actually feel about Justice League. Don't let yourself be driven by the hate, don't let yourself be driven by the love of DC. Just tell it in your own words what you think of this film. I'm so excited to hear what you guys thought. But this was the film that I needed. This was absolutely the film that I needed. I'm sure that other fans needed, but for me, I'm very thankful that this exists. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like these. I have all my social media links in the description below. I have Twitter, I have Instagram, I have Goodreads. Please go follow me in all of those. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.